want to welcome you guys out to the grand opening of DCI Louisville. Gordon asked me to speak and say a few words. We've been good friends since the age of 5, growing up in Fern Creek, and to see him be able to come back to the city that he loves, and I know how special this day is today to him, and he has got a lot of friends and family, and for him to be able to come from Jacksonville back into Louisville to open up a DCI is pretty special for him. So without further ado, please welcome my good friend from Fern Creek, Gordon Beck.
First of all, thank you all for coming. This is the biggest day of my life, and to celebrate it with all of you is, it's truly a dream come true. 19 years ago, I left Louisville, had a tragedy in our family, and I needed a change. And even though I left, Louisville really never left my heart. All of my best friends growing up, many who are here today, we always stayed in contact. Just had a gentleman that I went to grade school with and I had no idea was going to be here come up and bring a bottle of wine. So it just reiterates to me, a lot of people think, oh, we might have chosen Louisville simply because it was my hometown, and that's so far from the truth. You can ask anybody, and a lot of you know, they don't make them like they make them in Louisville. The people are so great and so hardworking and so close-knit, and it truly reminds me of the DCI culture and what we do. Our atmosphere, the energy, the culture, it is second to none. And we are so excited to be here today as we take this first step in this new journey. And I always tell everyone that works at DCI, when we opened Portland, when we opened our new facilities in Jacksonville, that every time we open a new facility, it's like starting a new journey and starting an entirely new company that needs an identity. And we bring the foundation of family. And I'll say that, and I said it till I'm blue in the face, I've been able to, and fortunate enough to speak at some pretty large conferences in my time, and people ask me, and I speak on what they consider a very low level, and that is, we have all the technology you can imagine. We invest greatly in technology and strategy, everything we do and spend money on to operate. But at the end of the day, without great people, you have nothing. All that money invested is only worth it if the people that you have to execute the job and to do so with integrity and with a smile on their face. Every year I write a mission statement for the company, and that mission statement is based on what we're facing at that time. And we live by it. Everyone memorizes it, and we wear t-shirts every week to remind us of what we're out there doing. But I never forget one I wrote 3 years ago, and a sentence out of that says, we don't wait for the doors of opportunity to open. We kick them down with the intent and passion to make the most of what's on the other side. And we're going to do that today here in Louisville. We're going to kick that opportunity down, and we're going to be a huge success. Already 100 people to start on Tuesday, and that's only a month of recruiting. And with everybody here to spread the great word, or even to become part of this DCI family yourselves, we welcome everyone. But we're going to do something very special, and we're very excited to be here. So thank you all so much for coming. We're going to cut the ribbon together with the mayor. I'd like to thank the mayor for joining us, Mayor Fischer. I also like to thank Mandy, who represents the governor's office, Ben and Alec, who also are here today and have been great in our transition here and represent both the city and the state. It's a true honor that you all have welcomed me back to Louisville and also shown the love to the 25 people from Jacksonville that actually moved to Louisville permanently to be a part of this site, as well as the additional 40 that joined us today just to be a part of this special moment. All of you that have helped build out this office, those of you who have been under the desks plugging things in and getting us ready for Tuesday, you know who you are, and it's too many to mention, but I love you very much, and you prove to me every day why I keep driving. We have a long way to go. Been with the company 19 years next week, and I'm 39. So we have a very young, enthusiastic, motivated, and energetic crew that's ready to do this thing in Louisville for many decades to come. So thank you guys, all of you, for welcoming us, and we're excited to make some history here. Thank you.
Now, please welcome the mayor of the city of Louisville, Mr. Greg Fischer.
Thank you. After listening to Gordon, I got to tell you, I'm a little concerned about this passion and energy thing with DCI. Let's raise the roof here for Gordon Beck here. Coming back to Louisville. Way to go, man. Oh, it's an awesome thing when you can see it all come together. And I tell you, you can start feeling it about a half mile down the road here. I said, I thought we were going to the opening of a new business, not like a rock concert going on here. I'm looking for the Kentucky Distillery Association over there with bourbon tasting at 10:30 in the morning. You guys are getting after it in a big way. And at the end of the day, as Gordon said, it is all about people, and it is all about culture. And I'm one of those person that says, somebody's got to be the best in the world. Why not you, right? We all got 24 hours in a day, and it's all about having that passion and zeal for lifelong learning and finding that place where you're joyful. A guy like Gordon has never worked a day in his life because every day he goes to work, he says, I'm getting paid for something that I love to do. And how do you build great companies around that? And how do you build great cities around that? And that's what we're in the process of doing here in our city. So to welcome a company like DCI here, and welcome the investment here of $6.5 million and what will be 400 employees added to our community is just something that we love. We have extraordinary momentum in our city right now. We've got $10 billion of capital construction going on in the city. Our unemployment rate is well below the national average. Our lifelong learning goals have been exceeded, and we're going to raise them again in terms of people getting degrees and certificates and specialties. So our city's on a roll. So what we need to do is get people to get out and tell more people so that we have more talented people move here so we can grow companies like yours, Gordon, and people see this wonderful mix that we have here in Louisville, Kentucky. So it's a special time that we have here, and it's special because good people are attracting other good people. Good people from Fern Creek are attracting other Fern Creekers to come back here as well. Got a strong representation from Fern Creek here today. Let's hear it for Fern Creek. All right. So it's a great thing. I'm a business guy that just happens to be mayor, so I had the good fortune of going through several ribbon cuttings like this. And ribbon cutting seems like it's just a simple thing, but it's not, because it's all the things that happened before the ribbon cutting. It's when a company started with the first 1 or 4 employees in a place that was nowhere near as nice as this, and then all the blood, sweat, and tears, and probably the 3 or 4 times that you almost went out of business before you finally found something that was successful and that you could really scale a business behind. So that's why events like today are so exciting. They're a symbol of success for our city and for our country as well, and for the great entrepreneurs behind it. So with that, Gordon, if I could proc you on behalf of the city, brother, come on up here. Proc is a verb when you give a proclamation, okay? This is the city of Louisville honoring Diversified Consultants Incorporated on the ribbon cutting of this very fine new facility on Interchange Drive here in Louisville. We welcome you all to our town and express our thanks for your investment in our city, creating new opportunities for citizens and adding to Louisville's vibrant momentum. So our city welcomes you, Gordon, and DCI, and looks forward to you all flourishing here in our city. Congratulations, brother. Great job.
And next, we'd like to welcome the Commissioner of Business Development for the state of Kentucky. She will be representing the governor, Governor Bevin. Please welcome Mandy Lambert.
Thank you. Well, Gordon and the mayor are certainly tough acts to follow, but I will do my best. And I know I will not be as enthusiastic and passionate as our dear governor is, but we are on his behalf and on behalf of the Kentucky Cabinet for Economic Development, we are delighted to be here today and to be just a small part in celebrating the success of what today represents. It was really only a few months back, in late January to be precise, that when our cabinet and alongside Mayor Fischer's team at Louisville Ford worked with DCI to announce this new office that we're standing in front of today. And now it's only May, and basically in 4 short months they've been able to build out and set up and are already in the process of hiring and training what will soon to be many hundreds of jobs. and obviously, and that's grown just in the last week. They've already announced more jobs than they originally projected, more than doubling what their original anticipation numbers were, so up to 1,000 jobs, which is absolutely fantastic, and we couldn't be more proud of that. And clearly, that is the kind of performance and is the hallmark of a company that knows how to get the job done. So congratulations to you, DCI. In parallel, across those same months, companies have announced investments all across Kentucky, totaling just over $5 billion in new capital investments. And that edges us up right up to the full year record investment that was set in 2015 of just reaching $5.1 billion. And we're only in the month of May, so we're very excited to be on track to not only break that record, but to shatter that record. In addition to the new capital investments, Kentucky companies this year alone have announced more than 9,000 new jobs, a pace that would see us eclipse the 16,200 jobs that were announced last year, the most in a decade. To me, and admittedly I'm biased, that performance is the hallmark of a state and a city that knows how to get things done. In choosing Louisville for this investment, DCI is helping us to achieve that goal. And as the governor's administration and economic developers across the state look forward to record growth, there is no better time for businesses to take note of our Commonwealth. It's worth noting a few of the factors that led DCI to choose Louisville, which Gordon mentioned some of those earlier. Not only did DCI find an experienced and available workforce, a pro-business climate, and willing and supportive partners on the state and city level, we wouldn't be gathered here today without DCI's forward-looking leadership, a strong and positive corporate culture, which is evident here today, as well as strategic thinking from DCI's executives, including Gordon. Speaking of Mr. Beck, one critical factor, as we all know, and why they located here weighs just as heavily as any of the others. And perhaps former Kentucky Governor Happy Chandler put it best when he said, "I never met a Kentuckian who wasn't either thinking about going home or actually going home." You see, Gordon Beck is one of us. He gets it. He grew up here and he graduated from Fern Creek High School. And those of you that know Gordon know he is a force of nature, and we are grateful he is a force from Kentucky. After moving to Jacksonville to work for DCI in 1997, he began formulating a plan to return to his home state. Due in part to his efforts, DCI quadrupled in size since 2009 and currently employs almost 1,000 people across 3 locations, including Jacksonville, Portland, Oregon, and in the Philippines. Today, we celebrate the fruits of Gordon's plan because not only did he find a way back to Kentucky for himself, but he brought a thriving business that is creating hundreds of new jobs. With DCI, Gordon encouraged and grew its success across the country and overseas. Now he has transplanted a piece of that success right here in Louisville, where all indications are this new office will grow and thrive. So on behalf of the Kentucky Cabinet for Economic Development, Governor Bevin, I'd like to thank DCI for their investment in Kentucky. As partners with Louisville Forward, Greater Louisville Inc., the Cabinet for Economic Development, the Governor's Office, and I all look forward to supporting DCI's success for years to come. And in closing, I'd like to offer a gift to Gordon, and also on behalf of Governor Bevin. Thank you. Just a small token of our appreciation. You might be able to guess what it is. It's something to enjoy that nice brown liquid that Kentucky produces.
We had a lot of it last night.
Yeah, congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you, Mandy. Now welcome the CEO of Greater Louisville Inc., Kent Euler.
Great. So glad to welcome DCI to the GLI family. When they came to town, Gordon and Matthew immediately engaged with the Chamber of Commerce. They wanted to be part of our community. They didn't want to be an outlier or wait. They wanted to be involved right away. They got involved, and they've been at about every event that I think I have been to, and they have also drained our brown liquor, too. I know that they like that. And as is the kind of the tradition when you meet someone new in Louisville, you do get around to asking them, where did you go to school? And as you all know that live here, and those that have come here have learned, they don't mean what college you went to. They do mean what high school you went to. So it came up very quickly about Fern Creek, and I'm really interested. There is such a deep Fern Creek connection. And we even found out that one of our VPs at GLI went to school with you in your class down at Fern Creek. I know when they built this company out in Jacksonville, Florida, they always had an eye on possibly coming back and doing something in their hometown. Now, we had to earn it, and you have finally come here, and when you came back with a bang. I'm talking 1,000 jobs. That is absolutely incredible. And I'd like to welcome, first of all, the 100 people that are going to start here that are from Louisville, but the 24 people who moved from Jacksonville, Florida? Raise your hand if you're from Jacksonville. Fantastic. Welcome. You are going to love this town. You're going to find it very welcoming, and we really do want you here. We are all about talent attraction. The Chamber is leading on talent attraction and retention, and we need people like yourselves moving here, bringing your skills, bringing your families here, and participating in our community. And we also need the people that are here to have good jobs and to stay in our community. We need our job is increasing the workforce here, and you have made it You've raised the bar quite a bit, I would say, with these 1,000 extra jobs we're going to have to fill, but we're up for the challenge. I'd like to thank and congratulate Mayor Fischer and Governor Bevins and their staff, our friends at Louisville Forward, for making this possible, for the incentives and the other work that was done to get this project together. It takes a team to do that, and we welcome you to the town. On behalf of the Chamber, thank you, and since I'm batting cleanup, my gift is a little different. All right, so on behalf of the Chamber of Commerce and the citizens of Louisville and the businesses and our 1,500 members, welcome to Louisville, Kentucky.
Thank you, Kent. I now want to bring Gordon back up. He has some gifts for Mayor Fischer and for Governor Bevins. So if Clayton, Matt, you'd like to come up.
So we wanted to do just a little something because when we heard that the governor's office and the mayor would be here, I was literally overwhelmed because in other cities we've been, the reception was not nearly what this is today. And it's never going to stop us. We're going to keep growing, and after Louisville, we're eyeing other areas. And as long as we continue to run and operate our business legally, morally, and ethically, and as a family, there's no reason why we can't have 100,000 employees. So with that said, it was, to me, overwhelming, and I wanted to do just something small as a token for the mayor and the governor's office to remember this day and to be able to get in touch with me a year from now, 2 years from now, to see that we do indeed have those 1,000 people and have kept our end of the bargain here in the great city of Louisville, Kentucky. So with that said, Mayor Fischer, thank you so much. This plaque is to basically commemorate you for welcoming us to your city. And Mandy, to you for Governor Bevin welcoming us to his state of Kentucky. So thank you both very much.
So up next, we are going to do a ribbon cutting right inside the lobby, and then Gordon is going to give everyone and the media, the mayor, Mandy, and Kent, a tour of this amazing facility.
3, 2, 1.
Thank you guys for coming out.